got the one and only Fast Eddie. What's going on, guys, man? No days off. November continues, man. I know a lot of people have been asking me a whole lot of questions. I've done a few live demonstrations on my own, but today I bought the one and only, the GOAT, man. We bought Fast Eddie here, you know what I mean, to assist. Just in case you guys have any questions, man, you guys can ask me. You guys can obviously ask Eddie. We'll go ahead, we'll answer them the best we could. If we got to show you how to do it, sometimes we got to show you better than we can tell you. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of that. Of course, you know, I got to tell you guys what I got going on. We got the Super Black Friday deal. Eddie, you don't even know what the prices I got right now, but check this out.
That's crazy.
We got Defensive Principles 101 and How to Set Traps and Counterpunch right now. If you get this bundle together, it is $27.
That's it?
That's it. It's $27, Eddie. We also got How to Box from Any Range, how to box from the inside and how to box from the outside. If you get both of these together right now, if you get this bundle, the How to Box from Any Range bundle, $27. Actually, you guys get enrolled to the CA private community as well, and you get an ebook. Unfortunately, my graphic guy didn't add that in this flyer, but it's in the rest of these flyers. If you get the individual courses, if you just want to complete your library, you can get any course you want on the site right now for $27. If you don't get a bundle, also the 150 killer combo bundle. Eddie, remember this one, the 150 combo, when I had you throwing all the combination?
Yeah, I was tired.
Yeah,
a lot of work, y'all.
Eddie threw, in fact, Eddie threw 150 different combinations. We did that course in one day. Eddie did that whole damn freaking.
Y'all better buy that shit. $270.
Yeah, Eddie worked hard, man. That was definitely good. You get 50 combinations to the head, 50 combinations to the body, and 50 head body combinations. You also get the CA community and the Come Out Swinging ebook. Those two additions should be in the other two flyers. I'm going to have to change those flyers out. Of course, you got the beginner boxing bundle for my beginners. You get Build You From the Ground of 1.0, 2.0 footwork drills, $27. And then you got the Defensive Wizard, which is the Philly Shell system. Eddie, show them that Philly Shell, man. Show them that. All right. All these courses feature Fast Eddie, for the record, guys, if you guys forgot, man. Fast Eddie's in all of them. He's demonstrating all of them. You get both of those right now for $27 with the enrollment to the CA private community, the ebook, and then, of course, the one and only, the Grand Master. You guys can get the Master Boxing Bundle, literally 98% off right now, $197. You get everything right now. It's a $16,000 value, man. I have my website evaluated. They evaluated each course for $997 at least, based off the information that's in it. Eddie, man, talk to me a little bit about what you think about online course material as a professional fighter, somebody who's fought pro and amateur, right? I can only speak so much, right? You actually fought at the highest level of professional boxing. What's your thoughts on online courses and how they can help somebody?
If I had it when I was young, it would have been nice, a real serious edition. I always had my dad with me, so there was a lot that I learned from him, but there was a lot in the way of planning in certain different aspects of the sport that my dad wasn't necessarily focused on at the time that I would have loved to have to be able to tap into. Like, and then you get a different perspective. You know what I mean? I had one perspective for most of my life, and it was, not to say it was a bad thing, because I think when my dad was one of the best hands-on trainers as far as getting you to throw the punches correctly and properly, one of the best I've ever seen. So I was happy with that, and it was great. But what I really started picking up was when I started watching pros and other fighters do things. So I can imagine other real quality coaches and other pros who, like myself and like how you, are putting out all this content online, and like they're not only having their coaches' information, but they're also getting a different perspective and also seeing things differently from a guy who may have even more experience than some of the coaches. You know what I mean? Or maybe a different experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe better coincides with what they're doing or what they want to learn or how they want to learn.
I like what you just said, because like you basically said you had your father with you at all times. And in my opinion, not everybody has that luxury. You know what I mean? Because even me as a boxer, I didn't have the luxury of a father who was in my life pushing me, helping me become a better boxer, motivating me to go to the gym, right? I kind of fell in love with boxing on my own, and I had to go searching for it. And a lot of the times, and I know now as a coach, the trainers are too busy.
Yeah.
Like a good trainer, a really top tier trainer is usually too busy, because a top tier trainer is either going to be training a bunch of professionals. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be traveling and working camps and concerned about that. Maybe if he decides to work with amateur fighters, he's got his amateur boxing team. That's taking up his time. Or if he's a guy who's more focused on making money, he's going to be booked all day because he's such a good coach that people are just paying him for personal training sessions all day. And he's going to have to make a decision. Do I help this kid who can't afford it? Or do I work with this person who's going to pay me, you know what I mean, top dollar for my time, right? So most coaches are going to go ahead and go with the money that are, you know, in need for the money. You see what I'm saying? So for me, that's the reason why I started doing online coaching, because when I started my YouTube channel back in about 2015, I just seen there was an open market for it. I was like, yo, there's really nobody out here teaching this stuff at a world-class level that I know that we could. And that's where I went ahead and I made sure I had a guy like Eddie with me. When we started teaching online, if you go to my YouTube channel, we probably have over 1,000 videos on YouTube for free that you can go ahead and just freaking binge watch, and you would get a bunch of information. But then what ended up happening was people started asking us like, hey, you know, the information on YouTube is great, but can you guys get a little bit more specific? Can you guys get a little bit more in detail? And can you kind of organize it for me? Because it's hard for me to search and find exactly what I'm looking for. So that's when we started piecing everything together and creating these courses. Another thing that I'm going to do, Eddie, is I'm actually going to stop selling these courses for people to own. And what we're going to end up doing is making this a subscription base. So this is actually their last opportunity to buy and own these courses before we go to subscription base. So that's another reason why I dropped the price so significantly. I'm sure there's a lot of people in this chat right now who's bought courses from last Black Friday. Like, damn, I paid more than that last year. And the people who bought that 3-4 years ago, like, yo, I paid more than that 3-4 years ago. Look at the bright side. You've had the information for over 3-4 years, right? So you got a head start on it. You're on top, you know, you're getting rewarded by not procrastinating. So I'm sure your skill set has improved tenfold if you've been following us this long, implementing the stuff that we teach and staying consistent in your training and, you know, going to the gym. I always tell people this isn't a replacement to your coaches or to your gym. This is just an addition to help you just further understand and have that boxing IQ that you need. Another reason why we do No Days Off November, 1 month a year, I decided to get on here every single day for the month of November and answer any questions that I could possibly answer. You know what I'm saying? This is something that we don't get paid for. YouTube don't pay us much for this type of stuff. We're doing this simply just to help you guys. So I bought on Fast Eddie. Listen, we got gloves back here. Okay, maybe you guys will force Eddie to throw them things on so we can go ahead and demonstrate some stuff for you guys. I want to say hello to everybody who's in the chat. Real quick, we got Arise Champion. What's going on, champ? We got IK. What's good, Coach Anthony? What's up, my brother? We got Money Stacks. Coach Eddie. Coach Ant. What's good? Eddie, how does it feel being called Coach Eddie? Yo. For y'all who don't know, Eddie Chambers is also here with me at the gym coaching here at CA Boxing Gym. So as you guys know, we just opened up a new facility in New Jersey. And Eddie Chambers is actually one of the coaches here, right? So, I mean, how does it feel coaching when for all your life, you've been a professional fighter?
Yo, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword a little bit. I mean, I like to be able to see the benefit of me giving information to these kids and they being able to take it and use it and it actually benefit them. But the other side feels old.
Yeah.
It feels like, yo, like, come on, man. I'm like one of the old heads, like Coach Eddie, Mr. Eddie. Yo, I remember we used to call my dad that, or they used to call my dad that. Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? I started coaching. I was
at a young age. That's wild.
I started coaching at a young age. I was probably like Coach Ant. Yeah, I was Coach Ant in like my late 20s.
But that's a youthful thing. I feel like Coach Eddie is like,
so we gotta give you a different. So we gotta give Eddie a different name. Right? It can't start with Coach. It has to be something else. Maybe it's a Coach Ant. Man, I could get away with the Coach Ant, but Coach Eddie, we put a nickname for Coach Eddie in the chat that is speaking of him being a coach. However, he's not old, all right? Because Eddie is not old.
The Coach Ant thing, it just sounds like youth. Coach Eddie to me sounds like gray hair. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of wild, but it's all right. I ain't tripping.
We got, yo, what's going on? El Fatudo in the building, bro. How you doing, man? We got to get together, man. Listen, he was one of my Coach Anthony 2.0 members when I was doing. A lot of you guys missed out on that opportunity to work with me one-on-one. So El Fatudo, actually, him and his son Aiden, he was working with me, and I was giving him custom plans and watching his son shadow box and helping him help his son prepare from a distance. He got all my courses. He had access to me. Something that I was doing for a while that I actually stopped doing. I may bring that back, but I've just been super busy. And like I told him back when I did it with him, I only can take on so many people when I do that online, because I don't want to bullshit nobody this fake ass service like a lot of these other gurus do. They'll like just throw you in there and give you some bullshit. Like, I actually work with you when I work with you. So if I can't do it, I close the door. So I've been shut the doors on that for a little while now, but I may reopen it once I can kind of like balance out the gym. Actually what we're going to do is with the subscription base, we're going to do a lot of coaching. As you guys can see, we have this interactive thing now where, like, if this was something that we did privately, imagine all you guys who are in this chat right now in a private setting where it's not on YouTube, it's not open to the public, it's very private, it's very specific for you and your specific goals, where me and Eddie could go ahead and work with a big group of you guys online and help you guys and coach you guys. And then, any new content that we go ahead and we decide to create, we can just upload it to our private group. You know what I mean? That's basically the direction that we're going, on top of the courses being part of it. So that's a lot of cool shit that we're going to start doing out the facility, here in the very near future. You know what I mean? My man Money Stacks, y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Yes, sir. We got K-Mac. What up, Coach Ant and Eddie? Okay, so he called you Eddie. Yeah, he went right to it, man. He called you Eddie. My man, for two of the best courses on the net. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to definitely hit you up this week, bro. We definitely got to talk. The link did not work for me to link TW. Not sure what you're talking about, Juan. What didn't work? Let me know, brother. Enigma. I always say that wrong, bro, but I know who you are because I've seen you in plenty of my lives. What's good with Coach Ant? What's going on, my brother? Yo. What up, Ant and Eddie? What's good, brother? What's going on? We in it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in here. Okay, we got Kirk. Kirk's in the building. Big Kirk, bro. What's going on, bro? I see. Look, Coach E. My man said Coach Big Chambers. Pause. Yo, Coach Big Chambers.
Coach Big. Yeah. That's it. Pause. That's what. All right. Coach Big should be Big Chambers.
Yeah, Coach. Okay, Eddie, are you ever gonna coach pros? Good question.
I think that's something. I mean, I like the idea of doing it, but we talked about it, and it's probably gonna be a tandem thing. Me and Ed doing it. If I'm really gonna coach pros, I mean, there's gonna be some opportunities that probably be like, nah, I'd rather you just go ahead and do it. But I like the idea of. I like to see like improvement. So things like me coaching a pro who's already supposed to be somewhat established and decent already, to then see him improve that further as time goes on is really rewarding. So I may do it. That's something that we already got a guy that wants to think about turning pro and think about fighting. There's a couple guys who got that are interested. So it's going to be a little bit of time, but I think we're going.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, go ahead and chime in on that. I think Eddie has a wealth of knowledge to offer a up and coming professional, even a world class professional fighter. And really at all weights, middleweights, lightweights, because Eddie wasn't just like a big, slow heavyweight, right? He's fast Eddie, right? So he can work with basically any kind of fighter. I just think it all comes down to the right situations and the right opportunities. A guy like Eddie is already a proven guy. I think Eddie, you'll definitely see him in the corner with some pros in the near future. Just everything has to make sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. Coach E, that's not bad. Coach E, I can rock with Coach E.
Coach E is easy. Coach E, Big Chambers. I like the Big Chambers.
Yo, Coach Anthony, why are boxing gyms mad expensive? All right, good. This is a question I would love to tackle. Truthfully, man, I don't think boxing gyms are expensive enough. Honestly, if you want me to tell you the truth, there's a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools out here charging $350, $400 a month. You got a lot of martial arts schools charging close to that. And then you got a lot of boxing fitness gyms that aren't really teaching real boxing. They're just putting you through a fantastic boxing workout, you know, and they're making it real friendly and super inviting. And they're charging close to $200 a month, at least in the area that we're in, right? I think that boxing, real boxing coaching, of course, if it's in a professional setting, like that's basically the route that we went here, right? So we had a bunch of different options when we decided to open this gym. Like I was gonna do like boxing fitness at one time, and then I was gonna do like, you know, more technical boxing at another time, and then have my pros at another time. That's kind of like the business model that most boxing gyms with guys like me and Eddie kind of go with. But then I thought about it some more time, and I said, you know what? Fitness is part of boxing. That's inevitable. You're gonna get in shape boxing. So now what we do is we coach everybody here as if they want to learn the craft. We don't put anybody through the workout just for fitness. We teach everybody the proper fundamentals. We make sure you shadow box. We make sure you hit the mitts. We make sure you hit the bags. We make sure you condition. We make sure you do all those things. And when you really get the benefits from all of that, honestly, man, it should cost more. Like, what's your thoughts on it? Like, Eddie, how has your life changed through boxing?
Man, I mean, it gave me something to do that I'm a professional at, that I can pass down from generation to generation. I mean, it's priceless essentially. But for what we charge, and the gyms I come up in, man, most of the time guys are barely even paying the dues in the gym. The gyms don't get a lot of money. You see what the state of the gyms, they look crazy. Some of them not clean, some of them have heat, some of them have air conditioning.
Yeah, and a lot of the times these gyms are like that because they're not charging enough.
Yeah, they ain't charging you no bread. And then what happens is you take all that information, you can run with it. Some of these dudes who come to those gyms, get all the information they can, go through the workouts, get all this, download all these facts, then go and they take it and they make money off it.
Listen, there's a popular gym right now. I'm not even going to say their names, and that's what they actually do. They actually go to the gritty. They send their trainers to the gritty gyms, and I'll tell you from a fact, they sent some to me. They sent me like 8 trainers, right? I was coaching all the trainers. They paid me a personal training fee. They didn't complain. They paid me a personal training fee, but then they were trying to extract all my knowledge. And then I see them on the internet teaching it and holding the mitts and doing things in the same manner that I would do it. And they were doing it to different coaches all across the United States of America. So they would do it in New York. They would do it in Philly. They would do it in Cali. They would do it in these places. And they were charging a premium, and they weren't really teaching real boxing. They were just giving mitt work like real boxing coaches. So in my personal opinion, boxing gyms should be charging a premium because we teach the real shit. We teach the shit that is going to save your life. We teach the shit that's going to help you actually have a career, potentially turn you into a multimillionaire if you use the knowledge in the right way and market yourself in the right way and promote yourself in the right way. Think about any professional fighter like who walked into a boxing gym. You became a millionaire boxing. Okay, so I'm sitting next to a guy who became a millionaire boxing. He started as a kid. He stood dedicated to it, but what is it worth? You get what you put into this. You know, I'm giving you guys the online material for $27 for 3 fucking courses. I should smack the shit out of myself. Like, what are you doing, Coach Ant? You're giving it this cheap? Like, you're devaluing your brand by doing that. Any marketing guru will look at me and say, you are devaluing your brand by doing it. I see certain good boxing coaches charging $50 an hour. I'm like, what are you doing? You're a good coach. Then they go to another school, a jiu-jitsu school, and some guy who got a black belt under some association that's under another association, they're charging $250 an hour. No disrespect to the art of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because I think it's a fantastic art, but why do they get to charge that and we can't charge that? So when I say boxing gyms are too expensive, they're not expensive enough. You see how passionate I am about this subject?
Because came up in it.
Because I know for a fact, boxing gyms, a lot of guys out there, they want to steal the boxing information. They don't want to pay for it, right? But then they want you to continue to give more and more and more and more. And that's not how this shit should work. You know what I mean? Yo, my man Dan Smith, who came in with the super chat. You still aiming for a comeback? Eddie, big fan of yours too, CA, man. Appreciate it, man. You gonna do a comeback?
Still toying with the idea. I had a fight last year.
Eddie did fight last year under the radar.
Way under.
Tell us why about that. Like, why did you fight under under the radar like that? And tell us the results of it.
Well, yeah, I stopped the guy. It was, it was a under the radar type of fight. You didn't want that thing to get out too much. To be honest, not saying that I looked bad, but it was just the competition. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with having a fight like that, especially after being 6 years out. But the reality of it is, man, boxing has been great to me in certain ways, and other ways not. And that's just that's just the way it goes. It's typical, in the sport. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. So for me, the idea of a comeback would then be based on what I can get out of it. Because in the years past, I've always tried to do for the sport in a sense. I always tried to, get myself in position. I wanted to see what my legacy would be. I wanted to win this and win that. And in turn, obviously make a lot of people money, and never really thought too much about what I would be getting from it, aside from the accolades. Oh, yeah, man, we love you, champ, and all that stuff. But, after all that's over and you ain't got two nickels to rub together, put all that effort in and you ain't got nothing to show for it, it's like, damn, now I need something from the sport. And you go back and typically it's not kind to you. So if I'm going to go back to the sport and actually, give blood, sweat, and tears, I'm going to have to get something out of it too. And if I'm not going to get that, I'm not going to get anything, then I'll just
What's your professional boxing record?
Right now it's 48 and 5, I think. Yeah, 48 and 5, 24.
No.
Isn't it?
43. 48. Eddie don't even know his own fucking record.
I got 48 fights. My bad.
Yeah, 48 fights.
48 fights. I'm tripping. 43 and 5.
43 and 5, man. So listen, that's a good record against top-notch opposition. Like if we could pull up a lot of box recs. Yeah. There's not a lot of box recs as good as Eddie's box rec. You see what I'm saying? So competition-wise. Like when you open up his box rec and you start really doing your deep diving and seeing who Eddie fought, you're like, damn, this fucking guy really fought some fucking good guys at the time. These guys were the hottest guys at the time. And, unfortunately for boxing, sometimes the business makes it where guys like Eddie are underappreciated. See, boxing, everybody tries to take advantage of boxing in one way or the other. The promoters try to take advantage of the fighters. The students try to take advantage of the coaches. Some of these coaches try to take advantage of the fighters. I mean, it's just a fucking bunch of people trying to take advantage of each other. How can I get something out of this guy and not give the same amount of effort back? How can I get something out of this guy and not give the same amount of effort back? And that's not how this shit should work. A lot of times people see me with a fighter for a long time, but then they don't see me with a fighter no more. And they're like, why isn't Coach Ant with that fighter no more? Is Coach Ant not a good coach? Why is he not coaching that guy no more? He was with that guy. Listen, I've been friends with Eddie for over a decade. I've been with the same people for a long time. If you don't see me with somebody, you might want to figure out what they did. You see what I'm saying? Because the truth is like there's very small amount of people in this fucking game that are real genuine people who really will rock with you, you know what I'm saying? And and I think we're at a point of our careers where we can kind of make those decisions and say, you know what, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not doing that. I don't have to do that anymore. Maybe at one point in my career I had to do that. Maybe at one point in my career I had to work with that guy. Maybe at one point in my career Eddie had to take that fight. But we're not there, thank God. And now we get to make decisions based off what we feel matches our moral compass and what we feel we deserve to get paid. You know what I mean?
That is 100% true. At this point, you don't see the value in the person or the value in the situation, you ain't got to take it. And I think a lot of more young fighters should honestly pay a little bit more attention to what's going on behind the scenes. And, aside from just saying, put your head down and fight. And the reason is, I'm not saying get too deep into the business because then it'll take your focus away from what you should be doing. But I am saying that you should pay attention to what's going on so you can make some decisions, going forward, because essentially you are the boss of that team. Don't let them tell you otherwise, because that's what I end up being. I was just like an employee, and I'm literally the dude putting his life on the line. I was the boss. I should have been in control, but I just didn't see it that way at the time. I didn't understand it, and they took control. and they paid themselves what they wanted to get paid and paid me what was left over. And that's not the way it should go for fighters. It should.
Yeah, man. It gets deep. Pause. It gets deep,
Real
man.
pause deep.
Yo, Coach Ant, you gonna crack 300K before the end of this month or end of 2024? Easy. That's the goal, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Help bump the channel to 300K. This year, I really laid off the gas on YouTube. For anybody who's a real strong YouTube follower, me and Eddie used to record faithfully 1 to 2 times a week, like 6, 7 videos, batch them up, and then we would release them. But, you know, this year, you know what I mean, a lot went on this year. I mean, look, we're in the CA boxing gym right now, right? This was a lot of work to get finished. So been focusing on that, focusing on the gym here, the members here. But one thing I don't want to let die out is my online presence and everything that I've done online. I've had over 4,000 students come through my programs. You know, we had we're almost at 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. My TikTok somehow reached like 29,000. I don't even post on. I forget that the app's on my phone. I really am dropping the ball. You would think I would do better in that area, but you know, Instagram. Obviously, I have a direct connection with you guys on Instagram. So, you know, we definitely want to take this online stuff real serious and help as many people across the world that we can. I've always told people that. How can I teach the world from one location? There's nothing better than what we're doing right now, right? Like, it's like we're all in one room right now. And you guys can ask us questions and we can help however we can. What's better than that? You know what I mean? 100%. Appreciate you, Pookie, man. We got, what's a fair price for a drop-in fee for an hour-long class? I truly think that comes down to who's the people coaching, what you're learning, you know, and I think that's subject to change, man. I don't think that's a one answer.
It depends on. I think, yeah, like you said, it depends on the coach. If it's like 2 elite coaches, yeah, I think you're getting a lot of knowledge even in an hour. That's a long time. I mean, that's a good amount of time to be spending with somebody. What would you pay to be sitting in the room with for an hour with somebody who can make you $1 million and just say,
exactly.
Hey, how much is this worth?
Listen, I had a kid. I promise you, I got the testimonial in my phone. I took the testimonial in my phone. Listen to this. He said he bought the Master Boxing Bundle last year. This was last year. I did the deal, and the Master Boxing Bundle was more expensive last year than it is this year. This ain't no bullshit, y'all. I'm not trying to be a salesman. He DM'd me on Instagram and said, thanks to your bundle, I've used the information. I am now making anywhere between 10 to 30K a month with the information that you got here at my facility. So I don't know if he's doing online and in-person training or whatever. He didn't even have like a deep boxing background, just enough so he can go ahead and he would use the information, right? So the information is what you guys choose to do with it, right? Like, there's a lot of boxing coaches out there who've been in the game longer than me, who have not done what I've done in the game. And it ain't because necessarily I'm better than them. It's because what I chose to do with the information. I chose to go online with it. I chose to teach people and explain to people. I chose to help kids and build kids into national champions. I chose to do the things I've done. Eddie chose to become a professional fighter and fight at the highest level of professional boxing. It's what you choose to do with the information. So what is that worth to you? Is the real question. What is that worth to you? What is it worth to you when somebody tries to step to you on the street and you're in physically good shape and you're able to defend yourself and potentially get yourself out of harm's way? What is that worth to you? See, that's the shit. That's the shit that kills me about people who are like, I don't know if I can afford this. What happens when it gets real and you're like, damn, had I just paid that little fee, I would fucking not be on the floor right now holding my jaw because I didn't know how to defend the right fucking hand properly, or I didn't know how to throw it, or even worse. What is that worth to you guys? You know, me and Eddie, we're friends with some really financially successful people. You know, it is great to have these type of people in your network. But you know what's crazy? I go into the rooms with those guys and I'm not intimidated. You know why? Because I'm a master at my own craft. Eddie's a master at his own craft, right? So when we walk into the rooms and we're hanging out with these guys, the fact that their net worth is way higher than mine, I still feel like, yeah, but when it comes to this,
I'm the man.
I'm the man in this area. So, you know, considering the people in this room, right? So when that's worth something to me.
Of course it is.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
and they want what I got. I want the money they got. They want what I got. So what do? They hire me so I can train them. They want what I got. I want what's in your brain, Coach Anthony. Right. I want that shit because I've seen how you help thousands of people. I've seen how you're able to move around and do certain things when you demonstrate. I want that. Oh, you want that? Well, guess what? This is what it costs. And
they will pay it.
On that, and they will pay it, right? So what is it worth to you, Devin? That's the question, brother. What is it worth to you, man? Because a lot of times we're spending money on bullshit. You spend, $5 to $10 every day at the corner store. Add that shit up at the end of the month.
I can attest to that.
You know what I'm saying? you spend money. You go to gym memberships. You got 2 or 3 gym memberships, and you only go to one. You know what I'm saying? You buy clothes and you go out and you party and you hang out and you eat out. You eat out every freaking day, 2 to 3 times a week. It costs you $50 every time you eat out, and all you're doing is getting fatter. You feel me? You're not even like getting in better shape because of it. You're actually looking worse over time. I can attest to that. I've done that plenty of times in my life.
So have I.
You feel me? So what is it worth, bro? What is it worth? You feel me? I just think that health, fitness, self-defense, personal development is fucking undervalued, bro. It's so undervalued that we look at it as expensive when it's actually fucking cheap. And the shit that we think is cheap is actually fucking expensive.
Yes.
Because when you go out and you buy a cheap ass drink or you buy a cheap ass snack or you fucking buy that cheap ass bullshit that you're buying, it ain't benefiting you. And in the long term, it's harming you. So it's that or the money that you're saving, that you're holding on, that you're saving for a rainy day. Guess what? Time is the most valuable motherfucking commodity that we have. So every day that goes past that you don't learn how to box, that you don't work on your physical health, that you don't work on your self-defense skills, is another day gone, another day that you missed. And then guess what? Days add up and they snowball. 3 years later, you're like, had I started 3 years ago, I would be fucking not on the ground looking up at the sky that this motherfucker just hit me with a right hand. You see what I'm saying? Or worse. Yeah, I'm passionate about this subject.
No, but this is 100% right. This is what people need to hear.
Yeah, this is the truth because you know what it is? I'm a boxing coach, but I'm also a business owner. I sell online courses, and I'm constantly trying to encourage people to sign up to. So I hear all the fucking excuses. I hear I get paid next week. But then the same fucking day, you're spending money on some bullshit. Or I'll come back tomorrow. You never come back, but I see you 3 months later and you gain 15 fucking pounds. You know what I'm saying? Or you're fucking asking me a fucking question that if you would have bought my course 8 months ago when you were in my life, you would have not only knew the answer, you would have fucking already been asking me better questions because you would already had completed the fucking basic stuff that you could have been studied and learned and then applied where you would have been at a whole nother level. But you're still asking the same fucking question from fucking 8 months ago because you're too scared to spend a couple of dollars for something that's going to benefit you for the rest of your fucking life, guys. We got to change this mentality, y'all. We got to invest into ourselves. That's the number one investment. And then you can think about investing into, other things. You know what I'm saying? I didn't become an entrepreneur, a business owner for the last 2 decades because I was holding on to every fucking penny. I didn't become Coach Anthony because I didn't want to fucking pay coaches to teach me the skills that I have today that I'm able to go ahead and share with the world. I had to invest time, money, sweat equity, go through the shit, get fucked up, fuck people up, all that. I did it all. You know what I'm saying? We did it all. I'm sorry. I hate to leave Eddie out. Eddie,
no. Yeah,
but the truth is, you know what I'm saying? So, what is it worth? It's worth what you think it's worth. Just make sure when you do go to those drop-in fees and you do that, make sure there's just good coaches. Yeah. That's all you have to make sure. Don't just go to the den. I spent a lot of time on this question, but I hope y'all get something out of this because it can save you a lot of time.
Good question.
Good question. It can save you a lot of time, man. Coach, I don't necessarily, if y'all ain't sang some programs, y'all tripping. I get what you're trying to say. Thank you, old wizard. Let's get Eddie versus Derek Chisora next year. Eddie, what's up?
Derek Chisora? I would take that.
You would?
Yeah.
Next year?
Next year. I like Derek. He's a good dude, but he's tough. You know, we're both old, but he's been more active than me. But it's just his style, my style would be good content. I think people would really like it. I think the cat and mouse kind of thing. The only thing is, I might be a cat. no, but no, it'd be a cat versus a tiger because I'm a tiger. No, but it'd be a house cat. No, but it would be good. It would be good because it'd be a lot you can learn from that fight. Because there's a lot of things I would have to do because he's not going to stop. Even him at this age is still a dog, and he's going to still come after you. You know what I mean? So I would absolutely have to be on my A to keep him off me. And, you know, I'm going to be able to I'll definitely have the skill edge, the speed edge, all of those things, but he's going to keep coming forward and pressing the action. You don't got to have the best skills in the world when you got the kind of determination that guy got. So I'd have to calm him down and make him, you know, look for somebody who's invisible and it would just make, you know, wear him out eventually over the course of the fight. But
so basically, to make a long story short, yes, Eddie's with that fight.
Yeah,
43 and 5. That's not bad. No. Let me rephrase. That is excellent. That is not bad. 43 and 5 is, what is that? Like a fucking 90% win
something
ratio?
Like something close to that. Something like maybe
87, 88, 89% win ratio in a division that he was outweighed by 20 to 30 to 40 fucking pounds and out-heighted by 4 to 5 inches easily 90% of the time that he fought. So 43 and 5 is superb, Money Stacks. And you're my man, Money. I ain't even trying to come at you crazy. You're always showing love. But superb. We have to make sure that we understand that. Superb, okay?
Somebody said they saw the last fight too that I had. Dan. Oh, okay.
Oh, Dan Smith. I saw that last fight. Were you supposed to?
Yeah, I was supposed to go at, but once again, man, it's the sport, man. A lot of these guys aren't honest, and it's not even so much to say that he wasn't being honest. He probably just didn't have, you know, couldn't get the date, couldn't get certain things. Some of the promoters, and he's a small town promoter, so they're not able to do everything that they say they're able to do all the time. And I understand it, but unfortunately, I can't bank on that and live by that. You know what I mean? Every time you turn around, oh yeah, there's gonna be a new date. I can't. My kids can't eat that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even thinking. I'll do it if I can get a real serious opportunity in the future from someone. But somebody like that who's telling me, oh yeah, we got it. It was in September, and then it was moved to October 5th, and then I didn't hear from him. What? I can't. You know, I got bills to pay and things to do. I can't mess around with stuff like that.
Sean Breezy asks, Eddie, who was your toughest opponent and what did you learn from the fight?
My toughest opponent? Definitely. Well, I mean, there's no thought to that. Vladimir was a tough one, the toughest one. And what I really learned from that is watching how, and I learned a lot from the camp that I went to when I went to work with Vladimir back 3 years, I think, previous. It's just the professionalism, you know, the attention to detail, you know, constant professionalism, everything they did. You know what I mean? You don't see him all the time, but every time you see him, he's in a sweatsuit, color coordinated. You know what I mean? Just looking like money the entire time. The same team was with him, wrapped his hands the same way. You know what I mean? It was a traditional type of situation. Every time you seen him, you knew what to expect. And I think when you look at a real professional, it's all simple and laid out. He didn't have to come in and figure out where he was going to sit. He didn't even have to think about who his sparring partners were. Everything was already planned out, mapped out. It was all professional. Everything was to a T. Like I said, you know what I mean? So when I looked at Vladimir and me getting in the ring opposite him, I mean, obviously he's a big guy, he's good, he's skilled and all that, but I'm the better fighter, 100%. My skills was, you know, definitely above his. But he had obviously he had the size, and he had enough skill and enough understanding and enough planning, and he had an all-star corner. He had one of my trainers in the future up to that point. was one of the trainers that was going to be working with me in the future. So he had a hell of a situation. I mean, there was so much knowledge there, and the professionalism was second to none. So it was like when I looked opposite me, I looked at him. I just said, I'm against one hell of a situation. It's not just the fighter; it's everything that goes along with it. And once I got in the ring with him, and you could just feel it, obviously, the pain, but not only just the physical issue, it was just things that were going on around the ring. I mean, they had guys sitting strategically in certain spots of the ring. You sit like yelling, "You suck, Eddie, you suck," and I'm literally hearing this shit, and it's just like all of that matters. You just don't understand when you fucking with a real high level dude. That's what you got to expect. There's so many things going on. And I'm talking about, that's a different level. That's not just the world championship level. That's a Hall of Fame world championship level. That's a step above that.
Yeah, that's fighting fucking Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
That's fighting fucking Manny Pacquiao for the heavyweight division. Like, you're fighting the top tier guy. Like, everybody knew at that time. You fought him when he was in his prime.
In his prime.
And you fought him over there.
In Dusseldorf, Germany.
Yeah, I mean, he was
adopted to the
you know what I mean? So, you were definitely at a disadvantage in all different ways, and you did fantastic, and you really didn't do nothing wrong. You simply got caught with a phantom shot.
Ooh,
I
didn't see it.
You know,
well, I knew it was coming. And a lot of people ask me,
I tell people that all the time, and if you look at the fight where Eddie got caught, Eddie put his hand up to protect the hook, and it still landed here.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine
that's why.
Imagine a guy throwing a hook at you and you do everything correct and you still get clipped in the front. Mm-hmm. That's one of those situations where it was just like
it was going to happen.
It was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it happened to Eddie. But hey, man, live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the gun, die by the gun. That's part of the sport, baby. Win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been in winning corners as a coach. For world titles, and I've also worked with world champions. And one day you may see me with another guy who gets knocked the fuck out. Does that mean I don't know what I'm doing in the corner? Does that mean that the fighter's not good? No, it means welcome to the sport of fucking boxing, where sometimes you get knocked out. Hopefully not as many as other times. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you do most of the winning. Let's try to avoid it. But this is part of the game. Like, I mean, you signed up for this, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Coach Anthony. When practicing my straight right hand, do I line up the straight with my shoulders with the center of the heavy bag, or do I line up my center line with the center of the bag? I have to read that again.
Oh, he's saying. So I see what he's saying. He's saying, does he line up his like left shoulder in the back, in the middle? Like, say if you're an opponent, right? You're in front of the opponent. Would your left shoulder be to him, or because he wants to throw the right hand? Or would your left shoulder be like to the outside of him, so your right hand is lined up straight to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm lined up with him, right? So if me and you are fighting, say you're that back, you're just standing straight.
I'm trying to get us. Hold on, man. Let me make sure we're in the frame. I don't got a third guy behind the camera, guys, so bear with me.
So what he's saying is, he said, like you're just staying straight, like flat, like you're a heavyweight, right? So he said, would you want him to have his shoulder lined up here, or have his right hand lined up here? Meaning, should his right hand be lined up down the center of the heavy bag? So which one would you?
I think either one would work, honestly.
Yeah, well, I think it all depends. I think if you're on a heavy bag and you're lining up with the heavy bag, you want to be in front of it. You want it to be in your firing zone. So you're going to be right. You're going to have your toe right at the bag. You know what I mean? Shoulder kind of in the middle somewhat in the middle, maybe to the side a little bit. All depends on the situation. But yeah, eventually, sometimes a lot of times you just want to throw the straight right hand without a jab. You're going to step your foot in the area to open up for the right hand. So if I'm stepping my foot over here, then it's going to open up the ability for me to land my right hand straight down the middle. Now, if I kept my shoulder, like this is the thing I like a lot of people ask about, like, why do we always teach the toe wheel alignment? It's to keep that right hand out of the path of your front foot. So if you had yourself lined up straight like this, then you're gonna have to make an adjustment to your foot. You have to like bring it over a little bit in order to get that right hand.
Let me get this text off the screen. Let me get this text off the screen so you can see Eddie's feet. See how I'm thinking for y'all? See how we do? See how I look out for y'all? So they can see your feet.
So what I'm saying is, like, you see how we got the toe heel alignment? Like, we always supposed to have toe heel alignment. Mainly, that's part of it is because you want to make sure you got a solid foundation and you're able to, you're solid. You're able to bend your knees, and if a guy pushes you or try to move, you're able to do something. And you're also in an athletic position. But it's also to make it easy for you to throw that straight right hand down the pipe. If your foot's back here and you throw your right hand, now you're gonna have to lean a little bit. And then it really can't rotate as much. Even if it does, you're still gonna lean and fall over that front foot a little bit. So it's important for you to have that foundation. Put that right foot over here. That gives you that solid line down the pipe too.
And a lot of people always ask me this question about the right hand, which is kind of like kind of funny, like I'm gonna give you guys something real quick. This is something that happens all the time. I get this question all the time, like, how do you throw the right hand without keeping your head in the center line, right? Like, this is something that I get, but this is what I try to tell people all the time. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. So Eddie just throw a traditional right hand. Okay.
My foot just went over there too.
Okay, but I want you to see something though. Now, face the camera. Let's go right. The camera's there, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So you see where his head is. You see where his head is, right?
Yeah.
Throw the right hand. Okay, so throw the right hand. Bang. Okay. His head naturally moves slightly off the center line anyway when the right hand gets thrown. Like, okay, now look, he's here, right? Now he throws the right hand and he's here. The head moves as you're throwing the shot. And if you got good reflexes, let's just say you're somewhat still caught in the center, when you're throwing the right hand, it's a real easy adjustment to just go like this. I just like throw the right hand outside of this. It's a real easy adjustment for Eddie to just make that last second call. Like if you throw the right hand and you see that right hand coming, you can simply just do that. You know what I mean? Boom. How many times do you think you've done that? You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I mean? So, and then you see what Eddie just did. Do that again. Do that little tick like he did. If a hook comes, he just rolls right under the hook because he's already put himself here where he could easily come back here. So like I tell people, I throw a right hand. You're not throwing a right hand and staying like this. Right, you're throwing the right hand, your head's slightly already over here. See, I went from here to here, which takes me off the center line without having to think about it. And if I got to make an extra slip, I just do it at the drop of a dime. A lot of times those decisions get made in the situation.
Right.
Now, if you're trying to set up for right hand lead, then you can start off the center line. You see what I'm saying? There you go. Like Eddie's right here facing me. Okay, and Eddie drops his head off the center. Now he's no longer in the center. He lines that right hand up. Bang, he catches me here. Let's show him this right? Good. Bang, he can catch me here. Right? So a lot of times when we start the right hand lead, right? We're starting here, right? So we're here and then we're starting here. Bang, and we're letting the right hand go from the waistline. Even so. It's almost like an up jab, but it comes like an up cross. And that little step that you like to talk about can get done.
Oh yeah, this.
So when I go here, I go boom with that front foot, like how you're like.
I like boom like that, and then bring the right hand up.
Yep, and then from right there, you just pivot out. Right, so if you did it on the miss, you'll just do it, bang, and then he can just turn, and he can just get up out of there. You see what I'm saying? So throwing the right hand. A lot of the times, too many people put this extra thought about, well, where should my head be when I throw the right hand? Just throw it naturally. Also, would you say, Eddie, that is a timing thing? You shouldn't just be throwing right hands to throw them.
No,
it's a timing thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, depending on what level you're at, you know what I mean? Depending on what level you're at, some certain things should be done not right, should not be done right away. You know what I mean? You need to know what's going on with your opponent first. Like now, if you're an amateur and you've never fought him before or whatever, it's going to be a period, even though amateurs are faster, you don't have as many rounds, you still got to learn a little bit about him before you just start trying, like just doing anything. Because sometimes you'll put yourself in a position where you can get caught. by getting a little bit like you may have your thing that may be what you like to do or you like to try or whatever on anyone, and certain guys just aren't for it. You know, you got to know who you're in front of. You got to know the opponent, and you got to understand it. And sometimes you're not. Sometimes even if you watch film, you still might not get a whole idea of what it's like to be in front of them. So, because when you're in front of him and you see him against someone else, he might have a total different plan, or he might have a total different style. Not as different style, but he might apply it differently with that guy than you. You're different than him. So when you get in, the matchup may be a little different. So now you got to figure out how to apply what you're comfortable with. And if not, you got to adjust. If it's not possible, you have to find a way to adjust. So always think the basics. You got to be ready to improvise.
100%, bro. 100%. Dominique said just bought the Master Boxing Bundle with the Philly Shell System because of your motivational speech, man. Thank you so much. Salute, man. Listen, you won't be disappointed. Like I said, man, a lot of the information that you just see me and Eddie just describe to you guys in this live stream, just imagine fucking, I don't know how many hours, man, because each course is over an hour, right? So you're talking about like just hours and hours and hours of information just like that, in depth, where we really go into it, we really explain it and give it to you how we would teach you in person. You literally have that access right in your phone at all times. So, or you know, your computer, whatever, man. So thank you so much for the support.
What about how many like back and forth we had about how to apply something? I mean, not how to apply, how we would use it. And you know what I mean? How it worked for us, and just going over, well, this in this situation, that it's just so much that went into it. Beyond just what you see there, even behind the scenes of what worked and what didn't work in the initial stages, what we had to redo. It's just so much went into it. So the fact that you purchased it just shows that you're dedicated and you understand what values in it.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. And just so you guys know, for anybody who's in here in the chat, I'm just going to give you, you know what I mean, part of this right now. I've been going live every single day for the month of November. So you guys can kind of know, you know, obviously to help you guys. But now that we're here approaching Black Friday, I'm going to be talking about my sale every single live stream. So please, guys, bear with me. It's part of what I have to do, because right now I'm giving away basically my stuff. Right now we got the beginner boxing bundle. $27, man, for anybody out there. If you comment rookie in the comment section, I'll go ahead and drop the link for you. $27, and you basically get 3 courses, an ebook, and access to my private community. You're gonna go ahead and get Defensive Wizard, which gives you the Philly Shell System and Defensive Principles 101. Matter of fact, Eddie, throw them gloves on again real quick. We're gonna give you guys some of that Philly shell work, man. People love that Philly shell work.
Let's do that.
Little Philly shell work, man. I mean, all this stuff is in my course in far deeper detail. But hey, man, this is what we do here at Coach Anthony Boxing. We try to help you guys as much as we can, just to show you. You know what I like to do? I like to always give people something so they can know when they pay for something that they're gonna get the real deal. I give out a free class. You guys want to come try a free class? Come try a free class. I'm so confident that you're gonna sign up after you do a free class at my facility. I'll give you a free fucking class. Come on, try it out, because it's gonna be hard to top what we're about to, you know what I'm saying? Give you pause. All right, ready, pause. Yo, that was hard to top. I mean, forget that, man. Just scratch what I just said.
Let's go.
So the Philly shell, man, or the shoulder roll, whatever you want to call it, right? Eddie, let's talk about the stance. Let's start there. Let's start with the stance. All right, so Eddie's got his body protected. He's got this right hand. This hand does multiple jobs. It could be there to protect the hook. It could be up the center to catch any jabs or upcoming uppercuts, right? He can block the hook. And then, of course, when the right hand comes, he's going to turn that shoulder, right? Yep, he can turn that shoulder. Now, Eddie likes to drop back. I've seen people do the shoulder roll different ways. Like, you've seen guys, they kind of keep it tight, and they'll stay here, and they'll come back. Eddie has a tendency to drop back to take off those big right hands. Explain a little bit more why you like to drop further back.
Probably because of the height of their fighters that I would fight to. Most of the time, they're taller than me. So a lot of times, if they're going to throw the right hand, they'll sometimes have to come down and come over and they want to try to lean over the shoulder. So what I would like to do, I lean, forcing them now to have to punch down. And then most of the time when they do, either I roll it and they come back, or I finish. And then if I pivot out, they come completely clean. And I could actually come back and hit them. A lot of times I did do that. So whenever I used it, I would use it that way.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? So that's what I like so much about it, man. There's so many benefits to it. Of course, the drawback is that your lead hand is low, and if you don't stay tucked behind your shoulder properly, and if you don't have good timing and reflexes, you will get hit with right hands, right? But Eddie is in his stance, and I'll just throw a body shot. Look, if you can see, look, you don't even got to think about this shot. You right? That's facing camera. Yeah, facing camera. Yeah, he don't even got to think about it. So me throwing that right hook to the body is already a waste of time, for the most part, unless I could get him to somehow turn his back too much, maybe off of a right hand or something like that, or some kind of.
And that's dangerous too. If you do that, if you throw a straight right hand and then I roll it,
yeah, and I'm trying to come back. I'm always already hit.
Right hand, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? His hook, he's there, boom, up the center, he's here, right? So as you can see, Eddie just has to have some good reflexes. You know what I mean?
Which I have.
Yeah, he's the perfect kind of guy to do this type of stuff. And then, of course, the way we set up the punches and the counters and the head movement and all that stuff's in the course. I'm going to say for you guys out there who are willing to invest into yourself, but definitely a good defense for you guys to learn and understand, because I think the best fighters are able to do both. You know, they're able to stay here when they have to, and they're able to bring their hands up when needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think whatever works. There was a movie once, it was called Bloodsport, and he was saying something to the coach one time, and he was saying something about him losing his son, and he said, you know, you got ready to improvise, something about. But it's just basically what I'm saying is, you got to be able to use whatever defense is going to work for that situation. Like, I think a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to be," and we talked about this a little bit before.
Hold on. Just so you know, I seen somebody say defense in the chat. Just dropped the defensive wizard that comes with the Philly shell system, basically what we were just talking about, and defensive principles 101. So you get both plus the private community and the ebook for $27, guys.
No, is he talking about this one?
No, my man right here,
okay.
L Kid. Yep. Okay. So anyway, anybody out there, anybody else who's interested in the defensive wizard, I just dropped the link in there. $27. You get 2 courses, the ebook, the private community. And then, of course, he's going to ask you after you buy it if you want to upgrade the stuff. Yeah, we about to talk about that.
We got to do that eventually.
Yep. So, yeah. What were you saying?
No, I was saying use in whatever defensive technique for the moment, or whatever technique in general, but definitely we're talking about defense that works for the situation. I think a lot of people get too caught up in, oh, I want to be a Philly shell fighter, or oh, I want to have my hands up and catch the shots like that. I think you got to be able to do it all. I think Floyd shows you that you can't always stick to one type of thing. When you fight great fighters, or even if the best fighter in your gym or in your neighborhood or in your city or your state, sometimes these guys you're gonna have to do some things that you might not be 100% comfortable doing, or you might not like to do. You know what I mean? And you have to be prepared to maybe adjust and make that change. Floyd Mayweather was a guy who used the Philly shell most of his career, right? Mm-hmm. But you saw in certain fights he had to pick that left hand up because he wasn't working at the time. It depends on the fighter. It depends on what he's willing to accept from you, whether or not you can do that same defense or whatever you might have to adjust to. So, yeah, it's extremely important to be able to do the majority of what we teach. You know what I mean? The vast majority of what we teach. Try to get it all, especially defensively.
Have y'all contacted Steel City Interactive to get Eddie on Undisputed yet? No, we haven't. But we're on. Yeah, we're on it, man. I got the game here, man. I'm gonna bring the game down here. To the gym area. Me and Eddie, we're gonna fight it. Y'all been asking to see me and Eddie go at it, so we're gonna go at it on Undisputed. You know what I'm saying?
I can fight in the ring.
I can. In the video game, I might be able to get him. You know what I'm saying? So he can have the ring, man. We passed them days.
But I'm practicing though. I'm putting my mind to this shit, especially when I put myself on there. I'm probably gonna be like a 50 overall, but whatever. I ain't tripping.
Right. Where are you located, Coach? I'm in New Jersey. I'm in a town called Florence, New Jersey. You guys can definitely look us up on Google. CA Boxing Gym. We are in New Jersey. Got Fast Eddie, got myself. We got a good team. Great group of people that work out here every single day, man. Every day, man, when 6, 7 o'clock, man, I get excited, man, to see everybody come in here, man. Just everybody's super dope. Everybody has definitely a good vibe. Everybody got good energy. Everybody wants to learn. And that's what I want. You know, I want a bunch of people in here who want to learn, you know, and we teach and we don't force competition on anybody. If it's something that you want to do, great. If not, we're going to still treat you like you're getting ready for something. You know what I mean? And I think that that's what a lot of people used to try to do. Like they would come to me back when I had a gym before and sell me this whole story on how they want to be a fighter or I want to compete. All they wanted was attention. It's like, dude, you ain't have to lie to me just for me to work with you, bro. Like people think that they got to tell me they want to be the next fucking, you know, world champion in order for me to, you know, grab a pair of mitts or to give them some information that's going to progress them. No. All you got to do is sign up. Join the gym. We got you. You feel me?
Yeah. What part of the bird? Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. That's that Pittsburgh talk?
Okay. What part of the bird? I was born, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the north side of Pittsburgh, but I ended up living and growing up on the Lincoln-Leamington area, like East Liberty, back to the back, where like close to Penn Hills, but Lincoln-Leamington, Homewood area is where I you know, grew up. I went to high school and all that. I went to Westinghouse High. For those who know, that's right in the middle of Homewood, which is a rough area too. But high school was still dope. You know what I mean? Shout out to Westinghouse High.
Yes, sir. We got Coach E. You got any other careers outside of boxing?
Outside of boxing, I want to be the best old basketball player in the world.
Yo, I forget about that.
Bro, listen, if I could do it all over again, love all of my peoples who supported me on my career, but I would have definitely wanted to be a basketball player, 100%. My dad knew better than to let me like really get into it. Right. He knew how like dedicated I was to that, how much I loved it. I would be outside. I put up a hoop in front of my house, and even when I didn't feel like playing, I was out there playing. You know what I'm saying? I tried to play for the high school team. He was like, "Nah, you fighting." I said, "Fighting, man." So couldn't argue too much with him. But basketball has been a passion of mine for a long time. But I'm still ass, though. I'm just letting you know. I ain't saying I'm the greatest.
I live all the way out in California. I would love to come get. Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Just keep in touch. We'll get you in here. We got how much training should you do before sparring or doing amateur fighting?
He said, how much training should you do before sparring or doing a fight? Oh, having a fight. Oh, so he's like saying basically how much warming up before, or you talking about? Yeah, you talking about warming up before sparring?
Yeah, are you talking about warming up? Or are you talking about preparation for a fight?
For an actual fight, like how much training should you do before sparring?
Yeah.
Yeah, specify that. So
yeah, specify that stuff.
Thinking he's saying like you don't want to work out like all the way.
Yeah.
But if it's sparring, shit. Oh, he said I'm the PG. Fast Eddie the PG. I wish. I'm definitely a 2 because I ain't got no IQ. I'm telling you that. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
Is Eddie still a vegetarian?
Yo, good question. I just finished my raw vegan detox for 20 days. Yeah,
show him the pills. You got the pills right there. Man. He just did a 20-day.
30 pills a day, baby. I just finished it. Let me see. I put it in the wrong here. The herbs. You probably can't see it that well. It's light. But yeah. It's I just did 20 days all raw foods. No preservatives. Not even gum.
Yo, next time you do that, you should document it.
Yes,
and post that every day, like day 1 of my raw food diet, day 2 of my raw food diet, and just show what you eat.
Yeah.
And show how you feel, and show how you feel, and how you're getting through the day, like little mini vlogs. That should be dope.
That's dope. That's a good idea.
Next time you do, because you do it like twice a year.
I do it. Yeah, I'm gonna start trying to do it. Like maybe do 2 big ones and then 1, because I could do like a 10-day, and the other ones, the full is going to be a 20. So. Yeah, I gotta hit the herbs up. Like, yo, I gotta holler at
I got my opinion on this, Eddie. I don't know about you.
No, do you?
Who wins, Floyd Mayweather or Sugar Ray Leonard?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Floyd. Now, I'm gonna say why. I watched Ray. And I watched him fight certain guys, and I think this is what made Ray great too. But he took too many punches, in my opinion, and he took too many unnecessary chances. Now, sometimes you got to take chances. Sometimes you got to put yourself out there. I ain't saying you don't do that, but he took some unnecessary ones. He threw some shots that his punch selection in certain times wasn't what I would advise. Anytime I saw Floyd fight, he was always really defensively responsible. I think, especially later on in his career, he was really careful about a lot of the things he did. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's better, but I think punch selection, defensive importance, and ring IQ. To me, I think that lies with Floyd. Speed, I'm not sure with Ray Leonard, because Ray Leonard was a fast motherfucker, and he could punch hard as shit. So I know he punched harder than Floyd. But I think the intangible things that that you kind of have some of the gifts to. As far as it goes around IQ and brains, I think lies with Floyd, and I think that's what will get him through that fight. Because you've seen him fight guys like Zab, who was a gun, and was fast, and was sharp, and could punch. And over the course of the fight, he figured them out. Same thing with Shane.
Yeah, I think I'm everybody tell you I'm a big Floyd Mayweather guy. I study him. I think he's one of the best I've seen in my life, but I got to pick Sugar Ray in that fight, bro. And I'm going to tell you why. Sugar Ray was just as fast as Floyd. I think he hit harder than Floyd, a little bit bigger than Floyd. He had just as good footwork as Floyd. Now, yes, he did stay up tall a little bit and he did get touched. However, his willingness to throw bunches and punches, I think, would have been the determining factor. Like when we think about Floyd Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya, I mean, that went to a split decision.
I think Floyd won. I think
Floyd won, but
I think he won by two.
I'm saying he won, but to me, Sugar Ray Leonard's a similar type of opponent, but better than De La Hoya. I think Sugar Ray was better than De La Hoya.
Yeah.
And I think Sugar Ray Leonard was meaner than De La Hoya. I think he was just a mean guy when he got
people
going.
Look at De La Hoya, don't think he was mean. De La Hoya was mean.
Yeah, but Sugar Ray was mean.
He would try to hurt you. Yeah, he was. But I mean, De La Hoya was too.
But I'm talking about prime. I'm talking about super prime Ray.
Yeah,
because the one thing I will say when people ask me who's the better fighter overall, we say Floyd over Sugar Ray, only because with Sugar Ray, he peaked early in his career. Like at 30 years old, he was basically like already. He's kind of reminds me of like Eric Morales, like. Also, at 32 years old, like 32 years old, even though Morales had a lot of fights, Morales, people thought he was like 40 years old when he fought Danny Garcia. He was 32 years old. It was like, he's 32? Like, this dude is like, he's 50, like, when he fought Danny Garcia. You see what I'm saying? So,
32, a lot of fun.
Where Floyd at 35 was fighting Canelo.
Yep.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
because that's the difference, and that's why I understand what you're saying, but prime versus prime, we talk about
style matchup wise. I just think styles make fights. I think Sugar Ray wins that fight.
Well, the reason why I think you think that, and the reason why I don't, is because I look at him and I look at a guy like Zab, and I look how he was. See,
but you think Zab and Sugar Ray are in the same conversation?
No, talent wise and what he had, and him being also a southpaw. Remember, Zab is a southpaw too.
But he didn't punch enough.
But he was a front runner. Floyd understood that. Yeah. Zab in the beginning of fights would just destroy guys. He knew that. I'm telling you, the way Floyd was able to dissect him from round 5 on, after the whole little melee thing happened in the ring, I look at Floyd's IQ is the difference in that fight. I don't think the fight is going to be what a lot of people would think it would be. Like, it's going to be a knockdown drag out. Then I look at him with Shane. Shane's as hard a puncher as anybody at that size. And he almost knocked Floyd out, and Floyd came back, dissected him like a damn frog in school. So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
But it's like both of those guys, I think Sugar Ray's better than.
He might be better than them, but it's not like by like, oh my God, he's worlds better. No. And remember, this is a different era. So things are, fighters are different. Certain skill levels are a little bit higher. Like the way Ray fought, I think Ray was ahead of his time at that time. I think Ray, Duran.
So how does Floyd do? Let me go ahead and expand on this question. How does Ray do against the four? I mean, Floyd do against the four kings? Pause.
If you're talking about, I think he can out. He had a good shot at. It would be hard, but he could outbox the majority. The only one I think that really fucks with him, really gets in trouble, Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns is a gun. He's 6'1", 6. He's like
but that's what I'm saying. Like, so
that's
when you
different.
So when you
That's
see
different.
Tommy Hearns, you say he beats.
Because
But we saw Sugar Ray
he outlasted him.
able to adjust.
I'm not saying.
He made adjustments mid.
He did. No, I know. But there's no question. I'm not saying Ray can't adjust. I just think that when you're talking about him fighting a Floyd, how do you adjust to the guy who's just able to move like water? Like, dude is never gonna be. He'll do whatever it takes to win, even if it's by this much. Certain guys can't do that. Like you saw what happened with Ray Leonard when he fought Duran. In the first fight, he couldn't adjust to what Duran was doing with him. And Duran's a different animal. I ain't saying he wasn't the elite of the elite, but what I'm saying is when you got a Floyd, now you got it's almost like not a mirror match, but you looking at a guy in front of you that can adjust better than you can.
This guy, now, do you agree with what he says? No disrespect, but 147 pounds, Floyd smokes Sugar. Best defensive fighter of all time. He catches everything Ray shoots at him easy. I disagree.
I don't know about that.
Disagree.
I don't know about that, but I understand what he's saying because you got to think what gives you power. What I always say is either you got power and you got offense and you got raw ability, you can just go take people out, or you can control the fight without throwing a punch.
And that's true. But Sugar Ray, this is what I like about Sugar Ray. We've seen Floyd have trouble with De La Hoya, Maidana.
Still won.
Yeah, true. Sugar, De La Hoya, Maidana. What's the other?
Castillo,
right? These guys pressured him. Yeah, pressured him through lots of punches. I think Sugar Ray Leonard can do that if needed, and he can box, and he can knock you out with one punch. And he can, you see what I'm saying? Like, he had layers to his game where Floyd got layers too. Yeah. Floyd's my favorite fighter of all time. So guys, don't get what I'm saying wrong. I just don't think he beat Sugar Ray Leonard.
I think, and you see, I put them in the ring together. I'm looking at them in the ring together. I'm looking at once you get to round 5, and you still got him around, and he's able to start catching your shots and see what. And the thing is, most fighters, and I'm not saying Ray can't adjust it. Like you said, he's an awesome fighter. He's fast. He can throw it. But I think over a certain amount of time in the ring with him, he's going to show his hand. And Floyd got a deeper hand. Floyd also got 74-inch arms with, 74-inch reach. On top of that defense, which I don't know about Ray. I can't remember what his reach was. But what I'm saying is you got a guy who looks like he's there and he's not.
Yeah.
So and he's a master counterpuncher.
We're gonna do another fantasy fight thing this week. We'll do fantasy fights are so fun because we'll never fucking know, right?
I like this. I know.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. But first, anybody who gives a super chat, we gotta push him to the front. I have a problem. I fought a fast guy who rushes toward me. I try to step back and circle out, but he so fast he catches me with the left hook. Okay, yeah. When you step back and circle out, you can't get caught with the left hook because you're stepping out high. Yes, exactly. Keep the glove up. Keep the glove up. That's one way to avoid it. Another one could be a step back drop.
Yep.
But I don't know where your skill level's at, and I don't know if that's something that you can pull off. But a step back drop and then smother can also be very effective. We work on that in the Philly Show course, and we teach that a lot. That's another good one. Because sometimes when guys circle out with their hands up, they'll put their hands in front like this, and that's how they'll get caught.
This is a perfect example of this guy. He said, fast guy that comes forward and wants to throws punches. And this is the example of being able to, if you're defensively sound and you understand defense, it gives you the power where you can stand right in front of a guy like that. Boom, drop under the shit, slip him, make him waste all of that effort, put all of that shit on the table. Now you know what he got. And guess what? You're in the driver's seat. You ain't throwing a punch yet. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why, going back to that Floyd thing, Floyd and Ray situation, I just see him being able to figure it out over time, right? Defensively first, and then be able to put the offense with it. pop that fast jab out, create that space in between. Floyd got legs. I know you say Ray got legs too. He both got legs, but it's how you use it in that situation. You understand what I'm saying? Like I think Floyd, when you have the better defense, you have the range control. It's really hard to beat you. Really hard to beat you. I don't care how good you are.
No doubt. Floyd's definitely. We never seen Floyd lose, but we seen him have a few tough fights.
Facts.
But it's hard to beat a guy like Floyd, man. Sugar Ray Leonard, unfortunately, we seen him lose, but I think it was really we seen him losing toward the end.
Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't really
he
lose.
Lost one fight in his prime against fucking Duran, and that's pretty much it. But he still looked. I seen him fight over Donnie Lalonde. He struggled with Donnie Lalonde at times, and that's like that's not even me. Clear. I can go try to front on Donnie Lalonde. He was a good fighter, but he wasn't like no De La Hoya or nobody like that. But still, he was tough and he was big too, boys.
So what you think? I don't think Floyd could beat Sweet Pea.
You don't think Floyd could beat Sweet Pea?
I think Floyd beat Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
I think the Sweet Pea fight's easier than the Sugar Ray fight.
Definitely, because with Sweet Pea, even though Sweet Pea,
let's get you in the frame.
Oh, my bad. Sweet Pea was really good defensively, but he was the majority defense. Like he didn't have enough to hold Floyd off. Like he could have done some stuff. He could have got some rounds, and I ain't saying he couldn't.
I think the jab would have been the difference.
Definitely.
I think Floyd's jab would have been the difference in that fight, and the footwork.
And I think Floyd's willingness to stay in and actually go to the body too. Because he's trying to hit Sweet Pea in the head, especially in his prime. Like trying to do that even for Floyd. And I think he would have still been able to get it off the jab, off the feints. He might have got something off. And he's fast. And at that time, Floyd was lightning fast. He's been lightning fast, period. But it's just his range control and his ability to go to the body too would have probably put him over Sweet Pea.
But Sweet Pea was a dog, unpredictable guy. You don't know what you're gonna get with Sweet Pea, man. Some days he was just like, damn, who the fuck could beat this guy? And then other times you're like, okay, so it's very unpredictable, man. These fantasy questions, man.
I love them.
I love them. I ain't going front. I love them too. My boy Andre said Floyd got more layers than Sugar Ray Leonard. Y'all gonna make me go on a Sugar Ray Leonard marathon now and watch all this fight, just to make sure that facts, man. Because I didn't grow up watching Sugar Ray Leonard. I watched Sugar Ray Leonard's highlight fights, but I didn't grow up watching everything. Like I watched Floyd's entire fucking career. Like I watched everything that I could possibly watch in real time. You know what I mean? Because he was in our era, just like Roy Jones Jr. I watched everything Roy did. I watched everything Mosley did. I watched everything Trinidad did. I watched everything Bernard did. I watched everything. All those guys. Like that's my era. You know what I mean? So I watched all those guys. Where the era before me was, the Sugar Rays, the Haglers, the Hearns, and I would dibble and dabble and check those guys out, but I didn't really watch them in real time the way I watched some of the other guys.
Somebody was saying that Lalonde was so much bigger than Ray. He was. But even with that, the way he fought him, the way he, like he's still trying to fight Lalonde as he's like his size because that's how he got guys out of it. That's how he beat him. Now, when he got with a Hagler, though, he couldn't do that with Hagler because Hagler would have got him out of it if he had tried to fight him like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but with Lalonde, he felt like he probably could just stand in front of him and do what he wanted to do because Lalonde wasn't, like he wasn't looked at like, the other guys, the other kings. You know what I'm saying? But he still should have had a better plan going in there fighting a guy like that who's big, who could possibly punch and hurt you. And that's my opinion. That's what I'm saying. With Floyd, he's not going to give you an opportunity. The opportunity you get is slim. And then when you get it, if you don't take it, you don't get him out of there, you're screwed for the rest of the fight. You understand what I'm saying?
Look, now we getting all these fantasy questions. Guys, can we save the fantasy questions for
Adrian? Look at this shit, though.
Yeah. We're going to do this on fantasy night. Maybe tomorrow, man. Maybe we'll just do it tomorrow. I'm gonna try to go live a little bit early while Eddie's still in the gym because Eddie gets up out of here, and then that's why a lot of the times when I do these lives at 11 o'clock at night, I'll be by myself because these guys had a long day too. They have to go, so I'm gonna try to have everything set up already, cut it on, so we can go ahead and chop it up, man. We'll definitely do a fantasy fight night this week, and we'll talk. And I'll go ahead and put some pictures together, and we can go ahead and go through all these fights. I'll try to put together as many as I can.
Maybe Wednesday night.
Yeah, maybe Wednesday we can do it.
Because Wednesday night I'm good.
Okay, yeah, so we'll do that Wednesday. Maybe tomorrow we'll go ahead and we'll show you some training in the gym tomorrow. You know what I mean? And for the people who are still in here, man, I got to go ahead and run back all my deals, all my specials, man. That's part of the trade-off, man. You guys getting this game, but y'all also got to let me promote my stuff, man. So, you know, right now, like I said, man, we got the beginner boxing bundle, man. $27 gives you 3 courses, the private community, the ebook. It's a no-brainer. If you have no boxing experience and you're just starting out and you want to start off low, start off with this one right here, 27 bucks, man. Right? I mean, listen, you probably spent 27 bucks today at the corner store. You see what I'm saying? Or you guys can go right into the defensive wizard, man. We got the Philly shell system and defensive principle 101 with all the same perks, 27 bucks. Okay, maybe you want to go ahead and get your combinations up. We got the 150 killer combo bundle, 3 courses, 50 to the head, 50 to the body, 50 head body combos. Eddie Chambers worked his ass off to make this course happen. 27 bucks, okay? Maybe you want to work on your setting traps and counter punches, and you want to work on your defense. I put together the defensive principles 101 and how to set traps and counter punch. Okay, we call that the make 'em miss, make 'em pay bundle, 27 bucks, okay? We got the how to box from any range bundle, 27 bucks. How to fight on the inside, how to fight on the outside. Eddie, how important is understanding how to fight on the inside and how to fight on the outside? I think that's some of my most overlooked courses and probably some of the most important. Eddie, talk about it.
Look, and think about when we were just talking about how these fantasy fights played out. It's the best, the master adjuster wins. So if you can fight at close range and you can fight at long range, whatever's going on in front of you doesn't matter, man. You can just deal with whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, you're gonna start to, implement certain other details go along with it. But being able to fight from the outside is immeasurable, as well as being able to have to switch it up and be able to change. Now, I'm not saying now they say the guy who can do everything is a master of none, but you need to be able to do a little bit of both, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You could be a master outside boxer, but you got to be able to be comfortable when guys get close to you. There's a lot of times people will be like, oh, man, when guys get close, like we got one of the youngest that come in the gym, and he had a good fight. It was actually a pretty decent performance, but whenever the guy got close, he was a little uncomfortable. But at range, he's the king. But when it's close, you understand what I'm saying? And we got it, and that's what we're going to work on. We're going to make sure that the kid understands how to deal in close range, be able to catch and counter at close range, and not just being tall all the time. Even being tall in his ideal position is to be at range. He still has to be comfortable when punches are coming at him at close range, and he has to be able to do something at that time to get himself back in his solid position, which is at range. You understand what I'm saying? So it's important to understand both angles, or both close and distance. If you don't, then eventually somebody's going to figure you out.
100%. And then, of course, guys, you got the opportunity and the option to get 98% off of my Master Boxing Bundle. It was just evaluated for $16,000 plus based off of all the material that I've given over the years. When I heard that number, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I've been selling these courses way too cheap. However, I'm still not going to charge you what they said, right? Because I know that it wouldn't be realistic for some of you guys out there. So what I did was just go ahead and show you the value. Okay, and we're still gonna charge you less than I charged last year for Black Friday. $197 will get you everything right here. You get the ebook, you get the private community, you get full access. So guys, it's really a no-brainer, man. I need you guys to go ahead and take advantage of this. We're gonna answer a few more questions on here. We got about 4 more minutes, and then we're gonna roll up out of here. So if you guys got anything good, I'm gonna go ahead and drop all the links in the chat as well. There you go, $27. That's a steal, man. Tell me about it. It's ridiculous, honestly.
That's wild,
bro. Coach, and are these DVDs? No, so these are not DVDs. So basically, when you make the purchase, you will get an email, which will give you an option for you to put in your email and a password, and you will have access to it right now. You get access to this stuff today. You don't got to wait for nothing to come in the mail. None of that. It's immediate, you know, and you got it and it's yours and you own it. You know what I mean?
I just saw something. It's funny when he said.
Yeah, last year you said you never do 90% again, and now you're doing 98%. I told you I wouldn't do 98. I told you I wouldn't do 90. I didn't say I wouldn't do more than 90. I said I wouldn't do 90. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing 98. But listen, I promise you though, this will be the last time you ever see a deal. You'll never see 98 again. Listen, there's only one place I can go from here, and that's just give the shit away, right? And I'm never gonna do that. I'm basically doing that right now, honestly.
Oh, somebody asked, are these DVDs?
Can you share that link for the In and Out fight? Yeah, I'm gonna share that link, and I'm gonna share all the other links, but I'll share that link for you real quick. Let me get that for you. I could find it. Here we go. How to box mini range. And all this stuff is also going to be in the description when I cut the live off. You guys can always go to the description as well. But I'll go ahead and I'll drop this in the link. Boom. All right, so that's for how to box from any range. Matter of fact, let me just drop all the links in here. You guys, honestly, this is the link y'all really need to grab, man. Y'all need to just get the Master Boxing Bundle. I'm going to be honest. Y'all need to just get the Master Boxing Bundle. And I'm going to show you why right now. I'm going to show you right now, because you guys are going to eventually want all these courses. That's the Master Boxing Bundle right now. But listen, at 27 bucks, right? Let's just say you went, I already did this yesterday, but I'm going to show you guys this real quick. I did some math. 27 bucks, which is definitely not my price. This is just what I'm feeling like doing. I feel like 27 bucks is what I feel like doing this year. If I times that by 16, that still comes out to $432. So that's if I'm giving all my courses to you at a $27 deal, right? You're still paying $432 if we take 27 times 16. Right now you get them all for $197. So for, you know, the 190, the 98% off is based off the evaluation of my website. But truthfully, even if you want to go ahead and go with the lower price, you're still saving a couple of $100 doing it that way. So really the Master Boxing Bundle is the way to go. When you guys go ahead and you buy the courses for 27 bucks, it'll give you an opportunity to get the like other courses at a cheap price. You know what I mean? Just in case, because like I tell a lot of people, like, today you might be interested in this, but in 3 months from now, you might be interested in something else. And then when you go to get it, you're gonna be like, damn, I can't even buy this shit. I gotta, you know what I'm saying, go through hoops and bounds to get this stuff now, where when Ant was offering it to me for basically nothing, I was holding on to that little extra $100. So I always recommend just go right for the gusto, get the Master Boxing Bundle. I guarantee you're gonna love it. It's a no-brainer. I've been here for over a decade doing this shit. Eddie's been with me. You guys watch the journey, so you know we ain't gonna sell you no bullshit. Just go ahead, make the leap, take advantage of the Black Friday offers, man. I only do this once a year, y'all. I don't go live every day trying to sell you guys stuff. You know what I'm saying? So take advantage. Last question, and then I'm gonna roll up out of here. Eddie, what you think about Fury Usyk 2?
I think Fury should be able to take care of it. I think this time, when he gets control, he has to keep it though. Be professional, stay professional. You know what I mean? It's cool to be excited and have a good time while you're in there, but with a guy like Usyk, he's gonna take everything you give him and then some. So you can't bullshit your way through rounds. You can't put your head up there and let him land shots or just fucking hang around or smile. Be serious and be business-like. Take care of business. Don't give him an inch. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Don't pause that. But anyway, just like I said, be professional. You know what I mean? Finish the fight if it comes up. If not, box his head off for the entire duration of it, whatever it takes. You know what I mean? I think Tyson sometimes he gets in there, and when I was around him and spent time with him and talked to him, every day, he he wanted to clown, he wanted to have fun, but you know, he wanted to make the sport fun because sometimes it's difficult to make this tough ass sport fun. And so I see that in him, and I see the excitement and the enjoyment that he has when he's in there. But still, at times you gotta contain it a little bit. You gotta make sure you win first. You know what I mean? Because you can see what happened. He came back after those tough rounds and won the 12th. I let you know he should have lost the whole thing.
And yeah, he fell asleep behind the wheel because he was winning that fight, and then out of nowhere he just got caught. Mm-hmm. The only question I have is, will he get caught again? It's possible when you get stopped by a guy. I don't know, man. I've seen throughout history, it seems like sometimes it's hard to beat that guy once they stop you once. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's the only concern I have for Tyson. Yeah. But Tyson has the goods to win the fight, and he was doing fantastic. Yeah. But I seen him get caught with a couple of shots. I was actually saying it during the shot. I said, Eddie, I think he'll get dropped by one of those. And then out of nowhere, it happened like 4 rounds later. It was like, boy, I was like, I knew it. I was like, I seen it early, but I didn't actually think it was going to happen as the fight continued because Tyson was doing so good. Yeah. And then he finally got caught with that shot. So that's basically that, man. But listen, guys, man, thank you so much for everybody tuning in, man. We're going to cut the stream because we still got to do this every single day for the rest of the month. And, of course, guys, this is the no-brainer deal right here, 98% off the Master Boxing Bundle. No, it's never going to 100% off, so do not wait till next year. I know some of you guys are like, yeah, I could wait another year. I've already waited 3 years to get this stuff. All right, I'm going to throw it into the chat one more time for you guys to go ahead and grab that. And I appreciate every single person in here who shows love and support. And we will be on here this week. And I think that we're going to have a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with the fantasy fights. We plan on doing that later on this week, man. Yeah, bro. Thank you so much, Dominic, for the purchase of the Master Boxing Bundle, man. You're going to love it. I want you to come in here tomorrow and tell people what you think about it after you take a little look at it. You know what I'm saying? But all right, guys, I'm out. Peace.